welcome to the RSN Carnival Studios, where each and every Saturday we bring you premium coverage of the currently very, very premium Melbourne and Sydney racing. We've got Dean Lester live from the mounting yard. You do not want to miss that. If you're being fed income to yourself, well, you want to be listening to Dino's stuff straight from the track as a horse is paraded in front of him. No better judge. And of course, this Saturday, Super Saturday, with the Australian Cup and the Newmarket on, and Sydney's fantastic carnival is building up to their championships climax. But as we look back now on Flemington with the Group 1 Australian Guineas and a day where we saw him okay. Vince Accardi's starter was absolutely sensational. The usual premium feed that we like offering. We started off with getting it pretty right in the first race. Ready for Victory ran down Heatherly. It's how we saw the race. And Heatherly was a long way in front, but Ready for Victory is all quality.
Ready for Victory now, starting to stake up on the outside with Heatherly with a long lead, 100 metres to go, out by 2 lengths. Ready for Victory really hitting his straps now. Ready for Victory after Heatherly, who's starting to stop. Ready for Victory finishes the best and got there by a long head to Heatherly. 3 lengths away.
Vince Accardi's dailysectional.com.au numbers show that Ready for Victory is a strong horse, as it looked like on the line. Heatherly was deteriorating, as it looked like it did to your eyes. He's going to Sydney now. Sort of line him up this way. I think he would have been very competitive in the Blue Diamond. Very competitive. Similar type of horse to Pride Dubai. The numbers that we're seeing from Sydney are those Vancouver Exosphere type colts. He won't be competitive against them. It doesn't mean they shouldn't take him there, of course, because it could bring on his maturity and enable him to maybe win a Caulfield Guineas. But gee, I'd be surprised if he can take on the big boys up there. But he's a very good horse. Heatherly, when she learns to control and use her speed in a more even fashion, will win lots and lots of races, and probably in time, Moonee Valley, we can look forward to her. Put the rail out 27 metres or something. They just won't run her down and be sensational. Race 2 in the program. Missy Longstockings was the best horse in the race, and she didn't turn up.
Spree comes with a rush on the outside. Sino Eagle is making ground on the fence. Sent from the Stars right down the outside. They're right across the track here. It's a fleet of Spree getting up with Sino Eagle on the inside. Sent from the Stars coming at them. Sino Eagle dashes to the front on the inside from Sent from the Stars and Sino Eagle. Sino Eagle won it by 3/4 Sent from the Stars.
Well, very well done to Sino Eagle, continuing a very good first up record, but from a form perspective, or more to the point, a type perspective, or that's the technical term, it was very, very plain numbers. We don't want to stamp anything from this. Sino Eagle will probably run well again next start. Written out to 1400, 1600 will probably improve. Maybe a flat second up run there, but the numbers were so plain for the race, we just got to assess it on a race-by-race basis. In the third race in the program, Orient Line was looking for a class drop. He got that. Profit Share was looking for a run. He didn't get that.
Well, with about 200 metres to go, Profit Share and Orient Line are getting runs, and High World is sweeping. Orient Line hit the front. High World starting to finish hard, but Orient Line in front, and Orient Line scores by almost a length. To High World, and Maastricht maybe third ahead of Profit Share.
Orient Line was looking for a class drop, and luck in running, he got both, because he'd been spec'd in the market in his first 2 runs for the prep against Better Stock. Perfect run through when Nick Hall got that run, to take advantage of the slow speed and a real good turn of foot. He'll probably go very close again. Profit Share, Bradbury Wheeler cops some criticism for not, being third defence. Well, if the horse isn't going fast enough, you can't go third defence. Classic case that, particularly deep into a preparation with a horse from an inside barrier, it's a negative. From an outside barrier, he could have just kept on working forwards, but you can't jump over him, to use a cliche. And Profit Share either looks like to me he either needs a mile or a freshen up. He's just lost that spark that he had earlier in his prep, but the trainer, Darren Weir, probably knows what he's doing. We'll just leave that to him. But the run from the race, we just got to stamp this one, rubber stamp it, because it had no luck on the day, but the finish was unbelievable anyway. So it's easy to be unlucky. It's not easy to run unbelievable figures, and that's what High World did. He will be winning this next start, and High World is a horse we really want to stamp with a lot of confidence. Bendigo Guineas, perhaps, could be next for him, but High World is a serious horse in the making in the next race on the program. Some hardy souls, we could say. Those who have competed against each other a fair bit. Talking about Aeronautical, talking about Amarino, the eventual winner. Gracious Prospect sends himself around. He actually drives his own float to the races, a little known fact, and they fought out the finish.
He's grinding away, and Marino's coming. Aeronautical's got up on the fence. 150 to go. Aeronautical the fence. Amarino the outside from hard stride. It's Aeronautical, just the leader. Amarino driving the better, and Amarino got up for Craig Williams. Won it by Nick to Aeronautical. A photo for third.
Numbers were quite good from those two horses, Amarino and Aeronautical, but Are they the type that you really want to be on next start? I don't think so. Similarly with Gracious Prospect, Hard Stride is a horse who can win lots of races because he showed speed. He showed too much speed. And Dean Lesser reported from the mounting yard, just a little bit hot, too hot for him in his parade. He said the start before, he was a bit warm, but okay when he won at good odds at Flemington. So Hard Stride, if he can parade okay, use his speed the right way, Caulfield to be absolutely dynamic, might even be a Victoria handicap type horse. So even though he is one that deteriorated, can I guarantee you one thing, you'll make more money out of tiring leaders than the Flash Home Big Last 200 that is basically usually a horse bludging out the back and running past tired horses. So Hard Stride to me is a horse I'm not going to drop off yet. In the staying race, Crafty Cruiser was Ben Mellon. Has he got the key to this horse? He's ridden him for 2 wins prior to this race, 9 placings, puts him in the race, and when things pan out his way, he wins, and he did.
Tuscan Fire and Rawnack on the rail. Now Martin Vasty continues to come. Crafty Cruiser hit the front for Mellum. 100 left to go from Rawnack and Martin Vast. Crafty Cruiser about a half in front. Martin Vast lunging at him. Crafty Cruiser got in by a neck to probably Martin Vast. Rawnack.
No big numbers from the placings there as far as Crafty Cruiser and Martin Vast. They're all whackers. They're pretty honest, and if the race pans out their way, they go okay. Couple to follow. Rawnack, he was only third up. Definite fitness deterioration late. He's going to improve. I mean, third up at 2600's a task, no matter what type of profile you have. And Bellavo definitely needing a class drop. He can go very close in the right race next start. So Rawnack and Bellavo are the two to take interest in next start. Not knocking the first two, Crafty Cruiser and Martin Vast, but they're fairly well exposed to be on the generous side. Race 6 on the program. Now, Madam Gangster had 71 days off between racing. Again, Dino's mounting yard push was significant. Turned up ready to play. But the numbers were very, very moderate early. Now, that's not to knock Madam Gangster. In fact, go the other way. She'll go very close again. Probably don't want to see her if they happen to go to Sydney and kite fly against the stellar mares there, but she's just flying. But such was the moderate speed early. Scarlet Billows, well, that was a case of positioning instead of speed, out the back and given no chance there, 12 lengths below benchmark. Girl in Flight was a super first up run, and the other one that we can sort of have a bit of a look at too is Star Fashion, but very moderate early. But the ones we want to follow from that is Girl in Flight, Madam Gangster to win again, and as I said, still not going to rule out Star Fashion to be in for a very good prep this campaign. Race 7 on the program, it was the Australian Guineas, and still have yet to see a leader caught behind a tiring horse, and Wangina was that leader.
Wangina with a kick, but Stratum Star's in the clear for Merion. Alpine Eagle starting to finish the race off hard down the outside. Wangina in front of Stratum Star. Alpine Eagle coming home. Wangina responding down on the inside. Alpine Eagle can't get in. Wangina hanging on. Wangina all the way for Brett Preble. Beat Alpine Eagle. Stratum Star. Kermadec late for fourth.
Well, as we said here 2 weeks ago, don't look too far back and don't underestimate the on-speed talent of Wangina, and that's exactly what the market did. He was a terrific price, God bless him. Fantastic ride from Brett Pebble, and he had one little advantage, and that was Fontaine Ruby at the start, the likely co-leader, missed the start, so he had the lead presented to him. Nice, bold ride. Peel it back a bit further. Alpine Eagle, what a serious talent he is. Do we want to necessarily be on him as he continues his prep? Not sure, because it isn't just about talent. At some stage, maybe he would have had enough, but communication is from Tony McAvoy. He'll go back home, take on the South Australian racing. Look, he might picket fence. On talent, he's got some significant upside. Kermadec, I'm not positive he would have won. Yeah, he was unlucky. I'm not positive he would have won. Just take that into account. Yeah, he was held up, but while he's being held up, he's not using the energy that the Wanginas of the world is. And the Australian Guineas hasn't regularly been a strong form race for those going forward. So maybe that's the best of these horses because they're going to step up anyway. So I want to just peel back, find a couple back in the ruck that we might be able to make some money out of. It's these. Manapine, way outclassed. She had no luck at Sandown midweek and a pretty basic Sandown midweek at the start before. Manapine's got some talent. She's a horse we can follow because she can have a significant class drop in her favour. Firehouse Rock, conceded early. Now, he can go fast early. He proved so the start before against Alpine Eagle. Firehouse Rock, maybe a Moonee Valley 2,040 metre race might be perfect for him because they can put him close to the speed and he can be very hard to run down. He's going super this time in Firehouse Rock. He was too far back on Saturday. The other one, Lee Freeman and Anthony Freeman's Minna Singer. That was a sound run. It's the type of horse you can follow. But look, it was a strong race, but how many of these were just grand final runs? Only time will tell. Race 8 on the program here. Chloe in Paris, we said to stick with her, and you were well rewarded if you stuck with her.
And General Truce heads the rest. Chloe in Paris out in front of Zamora running a race. Flamberge battling. Perron's in the clear closing, but Chloe in Paris a good leader. Perron running on strongly, but Chloe in Paris too good. And a triple for Craig Williams. Beat Perron by a length. Flamberge a length away third. Zamora 4.
Nice building speed there for Chloe in Paris, and in that situation, she was always going to be very hard to run down. As I said at the start before, her run on the day actually compared not disgracefully at all with Lankan Rupee. So same track, same distance, and given a reasonably easy time in front. She was just too fast for Perron. Let's stamp Perron. What a run first up. On her figures, she is the best talent in the race. 1,000, a little bit short for her unless it was high pressure, and it wasn't high pressure. So Peter Moody would be absolutely delighted with Perron, and she actually has the quality to go up to Sydney and compete against the very best. So Perron we definitely want to be on next start. Last race in the program, I was on good terms with myself. Had 7 going in the quaddie, and then money came for Stephen Brown's Post de France, and they really get it wrong.
Big Addy, Phantom Brew, Post de France now starting to warm up. Post de France is racing after Spacecraft. Harvey's True Heart coming in. Carlo Bigatti on the far side. Post de France put his head in front of the 100 from Carlo Bigatti. Post de France hanging on near the line. Post de France wins it from probably Carlo Bigatti.
Well, when Post de France loomed at the 300 and Harvey's True Heart that had won for 18 months was chasing it, it was probably home, and it was home. Tempo was moderate. Spacecraft looked like he was going quickly. He wasn't, so the horses that were just in that sort of second line, they were going to be very hard to run down. And that was Post de France. That was its first win since Emirates Stakes Day of 2013, which indeed was the last time it was even placed in a race. But they got the all the ducks in a row there, the Brown camp, and got the money too with a decent old punt in the race. Horse, and it's one of the horses to follow if Robbie Lang can find the right race for it, and that is Don Dorimo. Far too far back. Market respect. Big mid-race surge on Vince Accardi's figures. Don Dorimo, next start, we want a stamp. As long as it's not in a class rise, we want it same or even preferably a weak class race, Don Dorimo for sure. He's one of 4 horses to follow from this meeting. The other ones being High World, Let's Stamp It, Perron, Let's Stamp It, and Firehouse Rock over 2,040, providing it doesn't go to Sydney, staying in the local area, indeed at Moonee Valley. Teeth go in. Can't wait for this week. Super Saturday, Newmarket, Australian Cup Day. JT, Vince Accardi, myself and Dean Lester live from the track. It'll be on Carnival, where you get the best and premium coverage of Melbourne and Sydney racing. And all my stuff is at racetrackralphy.com.au.